Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome to the Dyslexic Reader. Today we are going to be doing my September wrap-up. In September I only managed to read 4 books, but I'm still pretty happy, and out of them we have 2 5-star and 2 4-star, so it was a very enjoyable reading month even though I didn't get a lot done. The first book I read was The Grandma Grotto by Lemony Snicket. This is the 11th book in the series of Fortune Advent series. This was just a reread. I was just feeling something easy and kind of that I didn't have to pay too much attention to because I already knew the story, and I just gravitated towards this. It was one of my favourites in all the other times that I've read the series before, and again it was a 5 stars. I don't like the later books in the series as much as I like the early books, but out of the later books this is definitely one of my favourites. After that, I read Underwater Breathing by Cassandra Parkin. This was good. This is about you can see Cat's tail. Turn up, what are you doing? This is about a family, and they have moved to this remote house on the coast, and the cliff is eroding and eventually their house is going to fall into the water. It's about a mum, a dad, the teenage son, and then a younger daughter. And it seems to be that the teenage boy takes care of the younger daughter a lot. The mum and dad seem to be fighting. None of this is spoilers. They seem to have moved to this place to get away from someone who's like after them. And then at the end of the first chapter, and it's in the blurb, the teenage boy, who is really the main character, wakes up and the mum and sister have gone. And then it takes part kind of half in 2007 and when they disappeared, and 2017, the current day settings, if you want, and him trying to discover as an adult what happened and track them down and just trying to work it out. Now it kind of sounds like a mystery. It's not a mystery novel. It sounds like, who's tracking them down? We must find them. It's really not that, because if you're looking for a mystery, this does not have kind of a satisfying mystery ending. But I went into the book not expecting a mystery, so I really enjoyed it and gave it a 4 stars. But it took me a long time to read, but the writing is really unique, beautiful, and flows and really kind of depicts the setting. I then went back to another middle grade novel. This is Mockingbird by Kathryn. Erskine? I'll let you decide for yourselves. This book was great. This was a 4 star for me. It is about a girl called Kathryn, who has, I believe, Asperger's, and her brother was killed in a school shooting. Now this book is not about school shootings. It doesn't really tell us anything about the school shootings. We don't learn about the school shootings. That's just it. Her brother has been killed in a school shooting, and it's about her and her father and the community grieving. It's not really anything to do with the school shooting so much. I thought this was really good. I thought the voice of the child was authentic. I thought the Asperger's kind of depiction and mentality was quite authentic. It's called Mockingbird. There's a lot of references to Kill a Mockingbird in this. Kathryn and her brother have watched the movie. It was one of their favourites, and she keeps thinking back to seeing like, what would Scout do, what would Atticus do, and as someone who adores To Kill a Mockingbird, that was a really nice little piece through the puzzle that I enjoyed. And the only thing is, this was new in my library. This English edition of the paperback only came out this year, but the book is slightly older. First published in the UK in 2010 is when it came out. There is a part in this where a teacher refers to her as autistic, and they kind of have a whole thing about how Asperger's is not autism. But officially, I don't know, in the UK that has now changed, and there's now just ASD, which is Autistic Spectrum Disorder, and both Asperger's and traditionally thought of autism, as well as different things, are on that spectrum, so they would all come under the one diagnosis. So that has kind of changed, but it doesn't take away from the story. It's just a wee thing to keep in mind. And the final book that I read this month, I think, was my favourite, and it was The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I had heard only good things about this. It was, I believe, Sue over at Sue's Book Nook that really made me think, yeah, I definitely want to read that. I was in the library last week. I saw another work by Jessie Burton, I think The Muse, which is her more recent of the two. But when I saw it, I went, oh, I wonder if they have The Miniaturist in my library. It must be recently in because I don't remember them having it before. And here it is. This kind of shocked me because it's not what I thought it was. It is about, it's set in Amsterdam in 1686, I believe, and it's about a young girl who's married this man she doesn't really know, and she goes from the country to the town to live with him, and she turns up at the house, and he has a sister-in-law, or her sister-in-law, her husband's sister, kind of runs the house. They don't get on, but all these secrets start coming out. Her husband buys her a dollhouse replica of the house, and she tracks down this miniaturist to furnish her little tiny house. But not is all what it seems with the furniture that comes, and they almost seem to, like, as if the miniaturist is spying on them, like this stuff is creepily accurate. And I thought it was going to be more about that, but that really is a little bit to the story, but not really. It's more about the family and the relationships and the secrets that come out and the society and how it's dealt with, and how, you know, different people were like working together and helping each other, and not all what they appeared, and the cat's knocking books over. But yeah, this was really great. I read the first 60 pages ish in a day, 60-70 pages. This is over 400 pages long, and thought, this kind of, you know, the miniaturist story hasn't occurred yet. You know, that seems a bit weird. But then the whole rest of the book, the next 400 odd pages, I read in like a day and a half because I literally couldn't put it down. I was so engrossed in finding out what was going to happen. The writing really flowed. It was beautiful and artistic and all those kind of things, but at the same time it had a real simplicity that just flowed for me. I thought the pacing was good, the chapters was good, and I thought it was not what I thought it was gonna be. It really surprised me in its content in a good way. And when I closed the book, I was like 4 or 5 stars. And then I tried to think, can you think of something that you could change to make this better? Do you know, would you have made this character this way? Would you have changed the ending slightly? Would you have had that person have more of a role? And I couldn't think of anything that would have made the story better, so I landed on 5 stars. Normally I put 5 stars on books that are like so good I would want to read again. I'm not sure I would want to read this again. I highly recommend it, but as I said, I couldn't really find any major faults with it, so why not give it 5 stars? I really recommend this one. It was super good. So that is my slightly smaller September wrap up. It's very blue, teal, greeny, pretty kind of colour, which was unintentional. That is a word, isn't it? Or am I losing my mind? I don't know, but there we go. Yeah, so a pretty enjoyable and nice reading month, even though there wasn't a lot done. I am going to film my October TBR now, so it should be up in like the day after this probably, and so I'll be wearing the same clothes, but who cares. I'm excited for the books I'm going to read in October, so stick around for that. If you're not subscribed and you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe so that you can see up and coming videos, yada yada yada. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!